All right. How's it going, Charles?
We're doing excellent today. We're still up to our ankles in ice and snow here, but it's slowly melting in Holly, Michigan.
Hey, all right, all right. Welcome, everyone, to Morning Coins. I am John Spalding from G1NBC, Cuyahoga County, and I have my friend Chaz Rollo from Genesee County, Michigan. If you want, you know what we need to do for Morning Coins? We need to have a water show dedicated, or maybe we do it once a month where we dedicate an episode and try to get some people on to talk about the situation over there and donate a significant portion of any STEEM that we get to some group over there in Flint that's doing work on the ground
Yeah,
for
I
the
agree.
water programs.
Yeah. Water is still an issue in Flint, and it's not going to be over for a while, even though the state government thinks it is. It's not.
Okay. Yeah. So, because that's one of the things that I think we can nimbly do in the 21st century as content creators is if we're independent individuals that are making a show, based on blockchain technology and based on our work with G1NBC, I think that we definitely want to be able to make that happen. So I definitely welcome all of you out there who are watching on DLive or on our recorded version that'll be up on YouTube to get in touch with us, leave us some feedback, or check out some of our stuff in the description below, like the slides and some of the links for more information. But before we get started with getting into our crypto talk for today, let's go through our disclaimer.
And I'm on. So this is our disclaimer, and it says that cryptocurrencies, futures, stocks, and options trading involves substantial risk of loss and are not suitable for every investor. The valuation of cryptocurrencies, futures, stocks, and options may fluctuate, and as a result, clients may lose more than their original investment. All investments discussed on this show are for informational purposes only and are not recommendations to buy or sell.
Perfect. Thank you, sir. Gets one of our formalities out of the way. The next formality is kind of just going through our links for today. Like I said, this slideshow is available in the description for the video below. You'll see it where it says the slides for today's show, episode 6. Number 6.
Number 6.
That's cool. We're rocking and rolling.
We are, and there's so much more to cover. We'll be going for a long time.
Good deal. So we have here, we're going to talk about Ponzi schemes, Syscoin, go through the chart. I've already forgot it.
Yeah, we're going to do chart patterns.
Chart patterns, that's it.
So what I did was on these links is I put one in for the actual patterns you can look at, but also there's like a chart school link, so you can go there and learn about how to use those charts.
Okay, so that must be what that last one is.
Yeah, that big long one.
Perfect.
At the end.
Okay, so the baby pips is where you learn about the chart patterns, and then
the stockcharts.com school.
You can go to school and learn more.
Yeah, learn more.
That's cool. Thanks for including those.
Yeah, I think it's important that our viewers, if they're new to this, they really need to start boning up on their homework and looking at different ways of figuring out which way prices are going.
Gotcha. Okay. And so we're going to get some more into that. But before we do, if you are in the United States and haven't jumped into the whole Bitcoin cryptocurrency phase, but you are looking to and might want to, and you want to help out either Charles or myself as the hosts for today, you can select a referral link. And if you buy $100 worth of Bitcoin or other digital tokens that are on that platform will get $10 in Bitcoin for whichever host you choose, and you'll get $10 for yourself. So that's a worthwhile investment, and that'll help you kind of get started trading and get you excited about this new space for all of us in terms of blockchain, digital, and cryptocurrency.
Yes, because this is
and tokens. I don't really like calling them currencies.
Yeah, I know tokens. Just as an example, what's coming up? Barclays Bank is talking to their clients that they may start up a trading desk for cryptocurrencies.
Really?
Yeah. So
see,
the institutionals are jumping in here.
It's coming, man.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. So, like right now, when the price is still only like hovering at $8,000, and people think, they don't understand that they can just buy $100 worth.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, they think it because in the stock world, normally you buy a share.
A share.
And there's no fractions to that normally.
Right.
So,
and Bitcoin goes down 8 decimal spots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can invest $10 if you find the right place to do it.
Mm-hmm. Well, you can do that at ATMs.
Yeah.
Open a wallet, go to a Bitcoin ATM. We actually have one over here in Cleveland. It's in Lakewood. Did I tell you that last time?
I think you mentioned it.
Yeah. So I'm just going to go over there with my camera and do a transaction and see what happens.
Hey, that would be awesome. I love to see that. Just hide your PIN number.
Did you say display my PIN number? Unbelievable. All right, so let's talk about our first word of the day, and that's Chainits.
I got to thinking about some of the projects that are going on out there, and you read all the news that comes out on different projects, and people say, "Oh, that's not really a use for crypto, or it's not really an open system. It's a closed system." Meaning that not everybody can participate. But, there are going to be uses for blockchain and for cryptocurrencies that we haven't even dreamed of yet. And it may entail using some types of systems that don't adhere to what the definition of blockchain is.
Right.
And so I started thinking about that, and I go, that's really nitpicky. So I came up with a word. And I checked it on the internet. It does not exist yet. Chainits. And these are blockchain nitpickers. And they're purest individuals that adhere to a philosophy that the blockchain should only be open, anonymous, and immutable. And any variation on that is unacceptable.
So these are people that have the philosophy that it should be open, anonymous, and immutable. Okay, so there are some folks that are out there that are like that.
Yes, there are. And so I wanted to coin the phrase first here because I think that, a prime example of what people don't like is Ripple because their system's closed and it's hooked up with a centralized banking system.
Right.
So they don't think that's a great use of blockchain.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, so I think it is, but.
So you're here because you're staking your claim with Ripple as the best centralized cryptocurrency, and you're going to adhere a label to the purists and call them out on this show.
Boy, John, son, the hate mail's coming.
Ain't that right?
Yeah.
As the color analyst for the show, I just wanted to frame it correctly for the viewers. I see that I also made you a little speechless.
Yeah. I didn't think you'd put me on the block like that, but that is sort of what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that there's going to be a lot of uses for blockchain that do not adhere to those particular people's view of the world.
Yeah, that's right. And I think as a Ripple believer myself. I think it'll be interesting because much like the Chainit's point of view, there's also the other point of view. And I think that in order for both ecosystems to thrive, we're probably going to need both, even if it is during some kind of weird transition period, right? So
Right.
people still, you can have trust and da 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 da, and that's why how we're going to get into the Ponzi scheme stuff here in a little bit. There's still so much of that out here, and the U.S. consumer is pretty well trained to know how to figure stuff like that out, and so they're always looking for that kind of stuff, and we have such high standards for the SEC and just really running a business in general that I would bet our culture is more likely going to like head towards those types of companies.
Yes, there is so much room for the operation of the blockchain in all aspects. There has to be a meeting point between the existing systems and the new system.
Yep. We were talking about an interesting coin last night, or an interesting thing last night, where it was going to start to allow peer-to-peer, where I could trade you Ripple and you would trade me Electronium, or I could trade you Verge and you could trade me Zcash. Like if we both agreed to the terms, we would just, and that coin would be something that would help to make that transaction.
Right, and all that's going to be possible.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't. I don't think we've covered Polkadot yet, but Polkadot is trying to create a blockchain for blockchains where they can interface with all blockchains and get the work done that way.
That is the way. Yeah, I'm very interested in them. We did talk about that, and I think we wanted to table them so we could keep doing some research and check them out.
Yes, we want to see how their project is progressing.
Yep. All right, so I have up here, I just want you guys to see, I put up there the dial-in number if you guys want to call in and tell us how we're doing. You can do that, and we provide that. For those of you who are watching the recording, we provide that, obviously, right now during the live taping on DLive. And you guys are looking at a couple promotional sponsors. One is S&G Endeavors, helping organizations take action. Doing a lot of, that's my business partner and myself, and we do a lot of work in the sphere of organizational development and helping companies and organizations implement strategies to improve their action planning and improve their strategic planning, on helping them kind of train up to level up. And then G1NBC, Cuyahoga County, and DLive 24-hour. But our coin for today is Syscoin. And Syscoin is a global network, a distributed ledger, a decentralized database, and a blockchain. It's also a cryptocurrency, an altcoin, a digital currency, and a tradable token.
All things to all people.
Whoa. I didn't know that I knew. I mean, I think I know the differences for all of those. Are those links, do those links go to the appropriate, like, definitions?
I hadn't intended for the links to show, but they probably do.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I don't know if they do or not, and I didn't try them. Altcoin. Yes. Look at all those tabs, everybody.
John, you're a busy guy.
Syscoin is based on a fork of the Bitcoin protocol and is merge mined with Bitcoin, giving us one of the most secure, stable, and scalable networks to ever exist on the planet. Now that's interesting.
And that is that's a big claim right there.
That is, like, I didn't know that, and now I'm like, I might have to check them out. They've developed a state-of-the-art marketplace where you can securely and reliably buy and sell any items you wish. Stores can be created directly through their marketplace.
for a commission. It's awesome.
And do you have to pay to be on their platform? Do you know?
Not that I'm aware of.
Interesting. Yeah, I wonder how they make up some of their cashola.
Well, they have their own coins, right? Syscoin. So I'm sure that that's going to fund them.
Gotcha. Okay. So like eBay or Amazon without corporate gouging, political interference, downtime, maintenance, or hefty fees. That's interesting.
Yeah,
So
it is.
now what is the marketplace? Like what are they selling though?
It's whatever you want to get on there and sell.
Huh. That's interesting because it doesn't say anything in there about like what that it's a store that it's intended to be a storefront type marketplace.
From what I saw in their website,
Uh-huh.
it does. You set up a store. You have to download the software to do it, and you set up your store and you start selling to other people.
Okay. So the Syscoin is the marketplace.
Syscoin, yeah, Syscoin is the marketplace, but they do have their coin or token as well to do that. Actually, if you look at the next slide,
Yeah.
it sort of gives you an idea of how that works.
You can buy or sell anonymously. Use BTC or ZEC if the buyer accepts them. Okay. So they'll probably have to have another program or something for a wallet for their ZEC. What do you know what ZEC is? Is that the token
Zcash.
in the Zcash? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Now I'm in big trouble. Encrypted messaging, digital certificates, escrow fund. See, that's the one I really. Do you know a lot about escrow funds?
Well, those typically, if you're looking at banking or legal, they're funds that are set aside for a future use.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you're being sued, and the money has to be transferred to you. It would go to your legal firm, be put in escrow, and then redistributed out to you
At a later date. Now,
right.
do you can assign the date, or how does that work?
I don't know if how the contracts are set, but I got to imagine that the date will be able to be set along with the amount and the person.
Okay.
Because it's with a mutually agreed third party.
Right. And I see here that you can use, for Syscoin, you can use aliases. So using a simple address instead of a wallet address.
Right. You don't have to have that enormously long coded address. You can set up as Joe's account.
Okay, so so this can also impact kind of the trading type stuff, especially if it is peer-to-peer and it's a marketplace.
Right.
Like you can really, it does kind of level the playing field and make it for more of a old world, if you will, like free market type area if it's done, if the people build it right.
Yes.
Right? I mean,
right.
I don't know. I was never a old world marketplace builder myself. But that's what I would guess you'd be able to do.
I would think that, now I'll say this about, I did try to dive into the white paper, and they have some pretty good phases or plans to make all this happen. Mm-hmm. One thing though I found was absent there was dates. I didn't see any dates attached to their various steps that they want to accomplish.
Really? Did they even have ranges?
No.
Oh, come on, Syscoin. Moving on.
They need to do that to make us feel a little more comfortable with that they have some kind of, because any plan should have a time frame attached to it.
Even if you're, right. You got to make it measurable, like we've talked about before with goal setting. SMART.
Right.
Specific, measurable, action-oriented, reliable and timely.
Yes. Yeah, they need to.
Or realistic and timely, whichever one. So I have the slide up for the actual what a trade would look like on the marketplace. Do you want to?
Yeah.
You want to walk them through it?
Yeah, it's basically a model for what they're trying to accomplish with this.
Okay.
And so it just gives you a picture so people can see a quick look and see how it works.
Gotcha. Yeah, so it looks like the buyer gets instructions with the BTC or Zcash address and the amount to send. Buyer completes and receives an ID. Buyer completes purchase using it and a transaction ID. Seller imports their Sys private key into the wallet to confirm or uses Block Explorer to verify funds, and the seller receives sale and confirms funds, notifies buyers of shipment if applicable. So seems simple.
Yeah, it's a basic transaction. They just found a way to do it person to person.
Yep. But no numbers available.
No.
For dates to get done. So tell us about our this is our 3 of 19 for our Syscoin team.
There are 19 developers or people on the management team. It's a lot.
Okay.
I took a look at the first 3 guys here, and I looked with interesting note on one of them though. They all exist out there, by the way. You know, you can find them. They are at other places. They have work histories. But the middle guy, and I'm not sure how to pronounce his Wasiluk, and his colleagues in another business raised Bitcoins for a new tech venture.
Okay.
He lodged them in an escrow account at a company running a cryptocurrency exchange called Moolah. And just months later, the exchange collapsed, and the man behind it is now awaiting trial in Britain for fraud and money laundering. So, lapse in judgment, perhaps? You know, I don't know.
It's not looking good for these guys, man.
Well, I just wanted to bring it up because that's one of the things that I found on the internet.
Yeah.
It was a loss of 750 coins. It's about $3 million.
And what about Sebastian Shepis? He's the creator and core developer. You find anything on him?
Well, he looks clean. He's got a lot of experience in the area. So I think, you know, just looking at these 3 guys, I think that they are all, you know, Dan, the middle guy there, I think he's okay. I think he just had a lapse in judgment, or who he's working with did.
Okay.
You know, and they didn't run with the money. They trusted someone else, and that person was a
Oh, I got you. So he invested in an escrow account, and the person who set up that account is the one that committed the fraud.
Yeah, the exchange Moolah.
Oh, well, that's why we're going to get into Ponzi schemes in the towards the end too. It's like you're saying, if you're saying like it could be a lapse of judgment, maybe you got in there thinking it was an investment, going to hold the funds till later, da-da-da-da-da. Turns out the guy's a scammer.
Yeah, and then killed their project by running off with their money.
Right. But the kid looks 12, so you could see how
I know
he might not be making the best decisions.
He trusted somebody, and he found out the hard way.
Yeah.
But my opinion on that is he probably will never make that mistake again.
Doubtful. All right, well, that's Syscoin. Any other closing thoughts on them?
On the
coin
I think we should watch them and see how they go. I mean, they have an operating, the software is available to download to start selling things on. I just think we should keep an eye on these guys and watch them in the future.
Okay, cool. All right, so next up, chart patterns.
Yes, in the marketplace, the price action that you see on those charts, and we've looked at a few of them now, has indications of direction with certain types of peaks and lows.
Okay.
And this is a list of them. This is by no means all the chart patterns.
Uh-huh.
But I think that someone could look at this, and if you look at the end of each one of those patterns, it gives you an indication of which way things are going to go with that pattern.
Okay.
So you can see at the end it goes up or it goes down.
Let's pick a couple and just go through the name of them, and then whether or not that would indicate, if that pattern would indicate an uptrend or a downtrend.
Sure. So let's look at the first one, ascending triangle.
Okay.
There's basically a level line at the top following the peaks of the chart of the candles, and then bottom one, which is angling up, and that is an ascending triangle and it indicates that there's going to be a run up of the stock. And I can tell you that what they're looking at there is that there are higher lows, meaning that the lows on the stock keeps getting higher and higher with each move forward.
Okay.
We can look at
Cool.
one that, let's see here. One of my favorites is the rising wedge.
Yeah, it's the fourth one down on the left.
Yes, and rising wedge is a very similar, except that the top line now is following a ever rising high. So the candles are making higher highs, but the other one is also raising up lower lows, and it's a tendency to be a bearish or downward trend.
Gotcha. Okay.
So one thing we got to keep in mind here that these by themselves are not going to give you a full picture of what's going on, because certainly any of these lines that are drawn will can go the other way.
Sure.
Right?
Yep.
One thing I'll tell you is that there are some trading platforms out there that will actually draw these for you.
Okay.
But many people just draw them themselves, and our next chart is going to show that.
What's the line that you have next to falling wedge before we go to the next chart?
Okay, so that is the one that we're going to look at in the next chart.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, so I pointed that out so we could see it in action.
Yeah, see, that was one hell of a segue you put in there.
Thank you. Well, thanks for recognizing that.
No problem. So we have the Syscoin 1 year day. So we got a red circle, and it also looks like we have our falling wedge.
Yeah, the red circle is an insert from today.
Okay.
So I wanted to put that in there. And so on this falling wedge, you would expect, according to the patterns that we just looked at, that stock would break through those lines and go up. And if you look at the larger part of the chart there on the right-hand side, you can see it's coming up to touch the descending line.
Uh-huh.
So later on, I went back on again, and look what we find. It did break through.
Is that the next slide?
That is that circle you're looking at.
Oh, I got you. Okay, so perfect.
That's a zoom in from today.
Yep, I got to frame it up just a little bit more for everyone. So the falling wedge, and that is correct, right? This is the falling wedge pattern on this one.
Right.
So you see the falling wedge here, and then this is the breakthrough line that Chaz was just talking about, and then this was today where it did break through. Now, it looks like it did go back down to that line. Is that correct? So then
it looks like it's pretty close to touching it, but it's still above.
Okay. Gotcha. So that is a chart pattern in action.
It is. We're seeing it actually work. Now, I drew these by hand on this chart, so that's what people need to learn how to do. And there's some debate here on, you can get in debates with people, because as we looked at those candlesticks in the previous show, we've seen they had wicks on them, and the wicks come out from the body. Some people prefer to use the wicks to draw their lines. I prefer to use the body of the candle, which is, the colored portion of it.
Yep, I gotcha.
That's a matter of taste, though.
I accidentally hit the slide ahead button, so people already know what's coming.
Charles Ponzi. So we got a little history on this thing here, and I kept reading this.
This is a great write-up. It's a lot of words, but it's a great write-up.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty wordy, but I wanted to get the point across. I'm not sure that in the beginning there that whether he was Italian or German or anything else mattered that much. I'm not sure why that was important to put it there, but he is a con artist, and Charles Ponzi was like taking people's money on this scheme he had, and trying to guarantee people returns, and people were telling other people, boy, does that sound familiar, and getting them involved. Their friends told friends, and they were making all this money, and there was guaranteed returns in a short period of time. And he was trying to explaining to them he was doing arbitrage with these postal reply. I'm
I've
like,
heard that a couple times in this space.
yeah, and apparently he wasn't the first one to pull these kind of schemes, but he has the name on it. He's gotten the name, so
Sure.
that's what people call Ponzi schemes. And he had done more than that one that they mentioned here. He has quite a few that he's done. And so what people need to do is they need to recognize that there are people out there that will tell them things and guarantee them things that are not true to get their money. And it exists in the blockchain.
Oh, yeah. Without a doubt.
So the next slide is how to recognize the Ponzi scheme. It's
Perfect.
the short list.
Good deal.
And hidden information, which I've seen a number of times. People just don't. How are you guys doing that? You know, how do you make so much money? Oh yeah, well we're working on it. We'll give you disclosure later.
Yeah, or if they say they have a trading bot, but they won't show you how it works or where it is on the blockchain.
Yes, yes. And so people need to be aware. They need to know the nuts and bolts of their investments. They need to be able to see how this is happening so they can be comfortable with it. You know, and they make excuses. Oh, missing paperwork, that was a mistake. You know, secretive strategies, like you were just saying, the bot, the secret bot.
Right.
You know, those are all red flags.
Yeah, or if people aren't running the correct marketing material, and that's causing us to get in trouble.
Right. Yes. Whoops, that was a mistake. It's our marketing department's fault.
Yeah.
They send out the wrong stuff, or they make another one is they make promises that never happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's always going to be, well, we pushed it off. The thing, this is going to happen in a month. Then they push it off. It's 2 months. It's 3, and sometimes, and then it never happens.
Yep.
High returns that are unaffected by the market.
That's a huge one, and I think if anyone is ever on a webinar or some kind of call where you're hearing someone talk about something and you ask a question around, well, what do you do when it's a bear market, or what do you do when there's a big dip, and they say, oh no, our product is guaranteed to have to be a consistent high performer across platform and time. None have ever done that.
If there's no risk involved, it's not an investment.
And that goes with anything.
Yeah, it's with anything. If there's no risk, then the returns have to match the risk in these things. So there's pressure to reinvest. Yeah, put your money back in. This thing's going. Oh God, how many times have I heard people say to the moon? Yeah. Just on coins, and it's like, please don't say that.
Yeah, and for every one person that says to the moon, you have someone else that says, I can't believe I got involved in this. I've lost tens of thousands of dollars. This is so, and it's all people in the know that can pull off the scheme or part of the stunt. They don't care. They're not going to tell you.
No, they're not.
you just keep re-upping and re-upping and re-upping.
Yes. And, there's a fraud system out there that I learned about long ago. And in the stock market, what these guys would do is they would pick 5 stocks and send that out to 1,000 people.
Okay.
What they would do then is send out another one to the people where one of the stocks went up.
Mm-hmm.
They would send out another letter with another 5 stocks, and if one of those went up, they would close, narrow the list down. Now you got a guy that's got 2 letters, 2 stocks that went up, and they do this several times.
Oh my!
Saying, look, I've gotten 5 letters, and every stock has gone up.
Right.
And not him knowing that it's being filtered. They're filtering out the people that get the losers.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's interesting. That's a good story.
Yeah.
So hopefully people are listening.
Yeah, be aware, just
Yep.
take everything with a grain of salt.
And then that last part, Ponzi schemes collapse without regular income, or when too many investors or people at that, if they happen to get in when they first start at that high level and they're good marketers, once they start cashing out, everything else collapses because it can't support itself.
That's right,
Especially if it's
because
built on phony numbers to begin with.
right, it's just all they're doing is the people who are investing in the bottom are feeding their money to the people at the top.
Yep.
And eventually that runs out, and they have to close down the scheme and take it on the lam, as they might say.
Yep. Well, cool. That's a good list on how to recognize a Ponzi scheme.
Yep. We again, it's like, do your homework. That's my mantra. Investigate.
Cool. All right, guys. So just a review. We did chart patterns, and we talked about Syscoin. We opened up the show, and we were going through Chainits, which is Chaz's new word about the purists who only want to adhere to decentralization, and he kind of stuck his flag in the ground, and so now future episodes, let's get some of those Chainits on here. I think I might reach out to a couple directly. I act like I got him on. I act like I got him at the tip of my fingertips with my email.
Bring him on.
Now there are a couple, right? So and now I don't know if he's a Chainit, but there are some talented folks that I want to get on here, like Doug Polk. I think if we were to grow the show to where we were able to get that Antonopoulos guy, who's always lecturing, I would love to help lead a discussion with folks, and have some of those folks come on and be guests. There are a couple other people that I really like in the space, and there's some people out here in Cleveland that meet up. I just haven't kind of approached them yet and letting them know what we've been doing over here, but I just haven't been able to go to a meeting. I've been so busy. They do those meetups out here. Do you have anything like that out your way?
I'm not aware of in this area, but
yeah.
I'll certainly be looking into that in the future. And one thing I'd like to throw out there so people can just banter this around a little bit is, I was thinking that, can the blockchain system become its own country with its own rules, regulations, separate? A blockchain without borders. And you become a citizen of the blockchain.
I think we already are, Chaz.
Well, I know, and the old guys probably go, "Oh my God, how do we hang on?" But can you imagine though, if that were the case, there'd be no borders.
Yeah.
We could be a member of the blockchain community. You might have your own group of blockchain community, but all the lines would be redrawn.
They will. I think they're being redrawn right now. I think that's why. I hope that the work that we're doing here, the work that we're doing with growing our individual networks at G1NBC, I do another show with some folks on DLive called the Steaming Pile, where we kind of talk about what's going on in the Steam and DLive community and bringing those people together. I've talked with you about in the United States that we need to have a national association for crypto enthusiasts, so we can have that type of advocacy arm that like other national associations have, so that we can have influence. Because I think that the better connected we all are as a North American community and as a global community towards this type of work, this type of space, then the better off we can help work on projects and do things that like you said, help make a difference and be a part of what's coming. And with the blockchain, it's not that it's that you can do it and you don't have to trust someone.
Right.
Because you just kind of show up, read the terms. If that's something that you agree with, then you can have a transaction.
Right. It's a contract. You can have a contract with someone else, and it has to be fulfilled.
Yeah. And there's just tons of applications already, from healthcare to technology to computer infrastructure to stream servers to like this Syscoin and having a marketplace for peer-to-peer marketplace. that's anonymous and things like that. So everyone, thanks for watching. And we appreciate you guys watching the recording. Send us any feedback that you guys have there as a comment. You can reach out to us on either of our G1NBC pages, which are also listed below. And this is Morning Coins because it's 8:25 a.m. on the other side of the globe.
Yes.
Touching the Asian countries. They are just waking up. They've probably been up for a little bit.
Been up for a little, had their coffee or tea, and just can't wait to get to see this show.
That's right. All right, Chaz, thank you very much. And we will see you all for episode 7. This is Morning Coins with John and Chaz.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. See ya.